first thing we will discuss in Crewman II Training is walk mowers. Proper protective equipment required includes safety glasses, long pants, and earplugs. Walk-behind mowers are used to cut mid-size areas and small hillsides. Large mowers and tractors are used to cut field spaces and large areas of turf. When using a walk mower, the time factor is 3,000 square feet per hour. The mower should always be used before any weed eater or blower. Next, we will cover compact tractors or riding lawn mowers. Lawn and turf maintenance is easier because of modern compact tractors, but carelessness can cause trouble. Each tractor or riding mower has different operating procedures. Refer to the owner's manual or an experienced operator before taking control of the unit. And remember to wear the proper PPE, which is earplugs, boots, and safety glasses. The following list is a minimum requirement to operate such equipment. First, before starting the equipment, check the fuel level and refuel when the engine is cool. Check the machine's oil. Make sure the tire pressure and tire treads are at adequate levels. Adjust the cutting height so the equipment is properly prepared for operation. When operating the machine, make sure the discharge guard is down at all times. Never disconnect or bypass the factory-installed safety features. Do not smoke or light a match when checking the battery or refueling. On typical systems, before the engine will start, the ignition key must be turned to the on position. The transmission must be in neutral or the clutch pedal depressed. The PTO or mower must be disengaged and the operator must be properly seated. Before you begin mowing, check the surrounding areas to make sure the turf is not overly wet. You want to check for this to make sure the mower does not cause any ruts or damage the turf. You need to be extremely cautious working in these areas early in the morning when the ground can be wet from overnight dew or irrigation. This can cause the ground to be extremely slippery. Check with your supervisor if you have any questions regarding the conditions you are working in. And never use a walk mower or riding mower on any steep hillside or slope. Doing so could cause the machine to roll over and injure you, the machine, or the area. Be sure to see your supervisor for site-specific instructions regarding slopes. And remember, never mow around steep embankments or too close to any body of water. After the engine has started, make a final check to be sure all people, pets, and obstructions are out of the area. Then increase the engine speed to the recommended level. Locate solid obstacles that might be hidden in the grass or overgrowth. Avoid low-hanging branches, electric lines, and guy wires that can cause damage. Avoid mowing too close to trees. Now we will cover hand pruners. The following PPE is required when using a hand pruner: safety glasses and a hard hat if pruning above the shoulders. Pruning is plant maintenance involving the selective removal of specific plant parts. Pruning recommendations advise against pruning branches flush to the trunk. Flush cutting is harmful to the plant because it damages the bark. The best pruning cut is made outside of the branch collar at a 45 to 60 degree angle to the branch bark ridge. Hand pruners are used to cut stems up to 3/4 inch in diameter. Pruning improves the appearance or health of a plant. Pruning also controls the size of the plant. Corrective pruning reduces wind resistance in trees. It also trains main branches to produce stronger and more vigorous trees. Proper pruning encourages early vegetative growth, and it can restore vigor and enhance the appearance of old trees and shrubs. Orchard ladders are only to be used in turf, dirt, or mulched areas. They are never to be used on concrete or pavement. Step ladders should be used when pruning requires you are on a concrete or paved surface. The ladder should be inspected prior to use to make sure it is safe. Look for cracks or defects. Managers are required to sign a date for the safety of ladders. Make sure this inspection is up to date. The inspection is up to date if it has been inspected in the past 30 days. And remember, when using a ladder, never stand on the top 2 steps. Now we will discuss a hedge trimmer or power pruner. The following PPE is required when using this equipment: safety glasses or face protector, earplugs, boots, long pants, and a hard hat. The hedge trimmer is used to trim small diameter branches. Never use the hedge trimmer at night in heavy fog, when the ground is slippery, or during rainstorms, lightning, and strong force winds. When using the equipment for the first time, run the machine to become familiar with the operation. Inspect the worksite for hazards including fences, wires, debris, insect and animal nests. When using the hedge trimmer, grip the handles firmly with both hands. Place feet slightly apart so your body weight is evenly distributed. If objects become in the way of working, be sure to turn off the trimmer before removing these hazards. Be aware of gutters and screens on windows behind shrubs. Be aware of where your fingers are. Maintain safe distance from other people. And in case of an emergency, get the equipment away from your body and others. Clean up the debris after pruning is completed. When the trimmer is not in use, cover the blades with a protective blade covering, and sharpen the blades as necessary. Once a week is recommended. Now we will go over proper planting techniques for flowers. First, make sure the plants and flowers are covered with a tarp if they are in the back of a truck or trailer, or make sure they're inside a covered trailer during transport. After the existing flowers are removed, also remove any remaining mulch or other non-decomposed material from the surface of the bed. If this material gets incorporated into the soil, it will create a soil that does not hold water well, and the plants will dry out too quickly. Next, sprinkle a starter fertilizer on the surface of the soil. Then, till the entire area of the bed. After the soil has been tilled, use a hard rake to create a smooth, flat surface to place the new flowers. After removing the flower from its pot, gently break the roots up on the outside of the root ball. Do not plant the flowers too deep. The soil should not touch the leaves. Water the flowers thoroughly and pay attention to the weather. Water less during rainy periods as flowers are more prone to disease and fungus. When applying the mulch, make sure it is not building up around the stem and that it is not covering any low-growing leaves. Using pine fines mulch is best for flower beds. On your weekly service visits, quickly inspect the flowers for proper moisture and overall appearance. Notify your production manager if there appears to be a problem, which could look like a wilted plant, yellowing foliage, brown or black spots on the leaves, or browning or blackening of the entire portions of the plant. The time factor for planting flowers is 25 per hour in 6-inch pots. When planting flowers, always space the flowers at a 6-inch center. An accurate way to measure this is with a 6-inch pot. When planting flowers, be sure to stagger each row for proper flower placement.